Hematopoiesis. Hematopoiesis is the development of all blood cells from the multipotent stem cells termed hematopoietic stem cells, HSC in short. These hematopoietic stem cells occur in the bone marrow of the adults. Hematopoiesis process begins early from the first week of an embryo development and continues for the life of an individual. All blood cells and plasma develop from a stem cell. Different types of stem cells: totipotent stem cells and multipotent stem cells are the different types. Totipotent stem cells are the one which has the ability to generate and enter organisms, whereas multipotent has the capacity to differentiate into several different types of cells. Example, hematopoietic stem cells is the best example of this type. Hematopoietic stem cells. Stem cells have two essential properties: self-renewal and potency. Self-renewal means that they can proliferate indefinitely, whereas potency means that they can be able to generate a range. It may be a one or many types of cells. Stem cells themselves are undifferentiated if they have no specific functions other than divisions. This figure depicts the formation of the blood cells in our living body. Each of the blood cells falls into one or three broad categories: red blood cells, WBC cells, and platelets. Red blood cells, or the erythrocytes, they are the one which is responsible for transporting oxygen and hemoglobin throughout the body, whereas WBC cells, they support the immune system. And there are different types of WBC cells are being seen. Many among them: lymphocytes, neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, macrophages. And the third broad category is platelets, or it is also being called as thrombocytes. These help in the blood clotting. And the current research endorses a theory of hematopoiesis called as the monophyletic theory. This theory says that one type of stem cells will be producing all types of blood cells. Hematopoietic process. In the earlier stage, this hematopoiesis process has been called as the primitive hematopoiesis. And usually this primitive hematopoiesis process takes place in the embryo, and this hematopoietic process will be providing the red blood cells for the development of the organ with oxygen. At the early stage, this primitive hematopoiesis takes place in the yolk sac, and this yolk sac will be nourishes the embryo until the placenta is fully developed. As the embryo continues to develop, the hematopoietic process moves to the liver, spleen, and then finally to bone marrow. In adults, hematopoiesis of the red blood cells and platelets occurs primarily in the bone marrow. In infants and children, the hematopoiesis process continues in the spleen and liver. The lymph system, particularly the spleen, lymph nodes, and the thymus, produces specific white blood cells called as lymphocytes. Tissues in the liver, spleen, lymph nodes, and other organs produce another type of WBC cells called as monocytes. The figure depicts the stem cells niche. That is, they are being surrounded by a special niche, or the tissues which help in their stemness. The niche is a complex organization of stromal cells, interactive or via adhesive molecules within the stem cells. There may be more than one type of niche in the tissue. The role of the transit cell is to divide rapidly but a limited number of times, so that amplifying cell numbers and its progeny differentiate to form and function end cells of that particular lineage. A range of proteins which drive growth and differentiation, which bind to specific receptors on the developing cells. They are generated by the stromal cells, including the fat cells, endothelial cells, fibroblasts, and macrophages. These stromal cells provide a particular environment called as a heme. That is, in short, it has been called as heme, and in brief, it has been a hematopoietic inducing microenvironment. So this hematopoietic microenvironment is the where your cellular matrix and the either the membrane bound or diffusible growth factors are being seen. In hematopoiesis, there is an intervening step called as a progenitor cell, similar to that of the stem cells. These progenitor cells will be appearing, but unlike the stem cells, it is not able to divide indefinitely. There are two types of progenitor cells called to be as CLP and CMPs. CLP is nothing but your common lymphoid progenitors, and CMP is common myeloid progenitor. This figure, hematopoietic stem cells, depicts the hematopoietic cells, that is the two progenitor cells being arriving from single hematopoietic stem cells, which in turn CLP will be producing the lymphocytes, whereas the CMP will be producing your granulocytes, erythrocytes, thrombocytes, etc. The CMP, as I said, rise to megakaryocytes, nothing but platelets, erythrocytes, granulocytes, macrophages, and their progenitor cells. These later differentiate within the bone marrow to give rise to all types of myeloid cells. Hematopoiesis is a continuous process that generally maintains a steady state in which the production of mature blood cells will be equaling their loss. And the various blood cells will be having their lifespans ranging from few days to few months. That, for an example, neutrophils has 20 to 30 years. Sometimes especially T lymphocytes, and the erythrocytes such as whereas the erythrocytes will be having a lifespan of 30 days to 120 days. To maintain a steady state, the average human being must produce a range of 3.7 into 10 raised to 1 white blood cells per day. And these two pictures will be depicting about the production of hematopoietic stem cells. And whereas the regulation of hematopoiesis, that is the control action of this process, are being carried out by the cytokinins, which are being produced by the bone marrow cells, as well as the activated T cells and macrophages. The growth factors such as CSF, erythropoietin, interleukin, and thrombopoietin are being the regulators of the hematopoiesis process. CSF is otherwise called as a colony stimulating factor, and we have four types of CSF. Multi-CSF, which will be carrying up, that is, it is also called as interleukin 3. We call it as a multi-lineage CSF, MCSF or macrophage CSF, GM-CSF or granulocyte macrophage CSF, GCSF is nothing but a granulocyte CSF. Erythropoietin, which has been responsible for the production of erythrocytes specifically. Interleukins, when we talk about interleukins, we have many types of interleukin, and the interleukins which have been responsible for the hematopoiesis process are 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9 and 8. Apart from that, one more growth factors called as thrombopoietin, which has been responsible for your platelets. These are the growth factors which will be influencing the hematopoiesis in our body, and they are the regulators, we can be saying. Apoptosis, the programmed cell death. In order to maintain the steady state levels of various hematopoietic stem cells, which undergoes a process called as a programmed cell death, and the cells undergoing programmed cell death often exhibit distinctive morphological changes, collectively referred to as apoptosis. The changes include pronounced morphological changes, decrease in the cell volume, modification in the cytoskeleton resulting in membrane blebbing, condensation of chromatin and degradation of DNA into oligonucleosomal fragments. Following these morphological changes in apoptotic cells, tiny membrane-bound apoptotic bodies are shed containing intact organelles, and these intact organelles or the apoptotic bodies are being digested by the phagocytic macrophages. These phagocytic macrophages will be engulfing these bodies so that there is no damage for the neighboring cells. The apoptosis process differs from the necrosis, in which the infected swells and then burst, releasing out the content into the body tissues. The picture depicts the apoptosis process and the necrosis. The first one, the foresaid is that the cell which is undergoing apoptosis, you can see the cell being dehydrated, undergoing degradation, dehydration, that is the shrinkage it will be undergoing, where later on it will be undergoing a condensation. So during this process, what happens is that condensation, chromatin condensation and nuclear fragmentation will be happening up, and the membrane will be integrally preserved, leading to the formation of apoptotic bodies. Whereas in necrosis process, the downer one, the cells and the mitochondria will be getting swelled up when compared to the upper one, the shrinkage or the dehydration, and later the plasma membrane will be rupturing up, releasing of the cells content.